well, we'll finish. Not a problem. We'll just stop where we're at now, and then I'll wait to hear from you, okay? All right, thanks, sir. You bet, bye. Oh, we have an hour? Called an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up?
Yeah.
Giving bad news. That's all I do usually.
We're just the bearers of bad news here.
Yeah. Bad news constantly, especially on diesel. We need to move that van, Nick. You want to push us back to there, or you want to push it straight back? What's best? Okay.
Push it straight.
Okay. Hey, boys, want to push?
Kevin, come steer this. Kevin, can you push with him?
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him.
Another day. Look at that mess. This rotor is terrible. She needs to see these rotors here. They're bad. See how they see his lines, that groove cut in there. It's usually an indication of a poor quality pad. This is gonna get replaced. I'm getting new rotors and pads. They look terrible. So, all right, I'm gonna wash up. I'm gonna get rotors, pads for you, Kevin, because those things are awful looking. That's in that transmission for sure. You want to finish up that? Okay. All right. Go that guy over here. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. You're not supposed to see that scan tool there. I'm trying it out.
Scan tool?
Well, somebody's want me to try it out for him. That's actually pretty nice. We had a 16 Audi A5. Is that what it was?
Q5.
Q5. Okay. We had 16. 2016 Audi Q5 TDI diesel. It had a fault for the lanes. The blind side detection didn't work. The lane switch. So we diagnosed the module was bad. I don't know where the module is. Somewhere. So the guy wanted to use modules, which is fine because it's like $1,000 for a new one. Put a used one in there, programmed it, and then we completed the ADAS calibration, and she's fixed. But that top down was cool. It got to the Audi server and uploaded the software for it. So that we had the Altel couldn't. The ADAS calibration tool, which we have, it did not do it. It couldn't do it. So that actually saved us a little bit. But our ADAS is the Altel. I'm gonna get some rotors and pads for this customer. Brake pads, rotors. Mike, anything I need to know about?
I sent Brittany to go get those wheels, and then I built that turbocharger quote for the F350.
Well, he doesn't need more than that. He needs a lot more than just we just pushed it outside.
Okay, gotcha.
So, will you let Stephanie know? Stephanie Walsh, that we're going back with the job, but her rotors are really bad shape and her pad's thin. I'm gonna highly suggest some rotors and pads on there. I got them coming, but there's no reason not to do it while we're in there now. Okay.
Got it. Obviously front.
Yeah, this is the front. So let's see what Nick's doing over here. Then we'll talk to Bradley. All right, Nick.
What's up?
What you got over here? What you got over here? What are you working
The
on?
valve covers, a little 6.0 or a 5.3.
No, 6.0.
6.0, yeah, it's a GMC. So
Yeah, it's a 6.0. 09 GMC 6.0 motor. He's going back with the heads on it.
the guy took it apart and either didn't have time or didn't know how to put it back together. So
Yeah, so
we got lucky. We're helping him out. So. A lot of
So-
shops wouldn't.
So this guy that owned this truck, he's an aircraft mechanic, and he took it apart. He said he didn't have the time to put it back together. I think we all know what that means. He's overwhelmed. When he pulled apart, that's the easy part. I think he's overwhelmed going back. So most shops don't put it together, but man, he could put this together. And if I blindfolded him, he could put this together. I'm not lying. I could give him the bolts. He's got so many he's done. So Nick's like, yeah, just throw everything back there. I'll do it. And he's already
No matter to me.
easy enough. Let's go talk to Bradley. Oh, this is the interesting one, huh? Hey, Bradley. This is Bradley. You guys know Bradley. He's been here for a while. We made a video a while back about training on an EVAP on Toyota. The Star. He's a funny dude. Funny guy. He makes me laugh all day. All right, so what's going on with this is this rear diff make a bunch of noise. Customer brought it to us, and he had metal on the rear differential. Something came apart. He's got an insurance warranty company that he bought and purchased. I hate dealing with those companies. You have no idea. Most of them are scams, I'm telling you right now. And this guy, his company was okay, but there were certain things they wouldn't pay for, just the stupidest stuff they wouldn't pay for. Of course, they wanted to provide their own axle. They won't pay for a new axle from the Chrysler. It's just stuff like that. If you do want to get your own axle or the shop provide it, they give a max amount of money toward that, and the customer has to pick up the rest, which no customer wants to do that, especially thousands of dollars. So he's going to pull it out. We're waiting for them to show up with a new axle. And then one tip, if you're a shop and a company that's a warranty company says, yeah, we'll send you an axle, you better call them and get a tracking number, because there's so many times where we've done it and like 3 days come by, we call them up, hey, where's the axle? Oh, we haven't shipped it out yet. Sorry. There's these companies, man, they're just, most of them are worthless, and you get to stay on top of them. You're on their phone for hours at a time. Honestly, we need to get together as a collective shop owners and really pick apart the worst warranty companies and set aside the good warranty companies and ban the crappy ones. I'm just telling you, we don't accept it. So, you know, if no one accepts their warranty, customers are not going to use them. So there's just too many bad ones. We just had a 06 Maxima. It was burning oil bad. The rings were shot. It only had 60-something thousand miles. She just had the car for 2 months. Called the warranty company. We did a leak down test, confirmed it. Rings just blowing out air through the oil cap. Called them, say, hey, we have a ring problem. We need to submit a claim for a motor. They said, well, we want to see the piston. We want to see the damage. So that's the cop out they do. There's no need for that. The testing proves there's a ring problem, okay? The reason they say we want to see the ring damage is because they know the customer won't put toward the money to do that. To do that, you need to pull the motor out, pull the ring off it, which you get to tear the whole motor apart, pull the piston out of it. That's several $1,000s. You're in there $3,000 easily, right? So I told the guy, I said, if she does that, and I pull the piston out there, and we see the rings are damaged, what will you pay toward a motor? He said, $1,100. So, you see what I'm saying? They already have an answer either way. So what sense does it make for a customer to spend $3,000 to pull the motor, take it apart, okay? That's just pulling it out, take it apart. But she's only gonna get $1,100 to fix it. She's negative, so it makes no sense. It's a scam company. Most of them are like that. If they're requiring you to pull everything apart, they're a scam. A good company's like, that test has proved out that piston ring's bad. We were gonna pay this much toward it, take care of the customer. That's how it normally should work. You know, They'll send inspectors out. Yes, we can do the test. He'll verify the test is proper and it deemed the piston. Nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to pull the whole engine part and tear it apart. There's no reason for that. That's uncalled for. That's their escape out, I promise you. So, and then over here on this, Brad is working on this too. It's leaking. It was leaking. It had an evap code, right?
Yeah. Small evap.
Yeah, small. Is that? This is from another shop they couldn't figure it out.
How long was it at the other shop?
I don't know. They did a couple things and they gave up. So Bradley just did basic testing, which he learned how to do it. A smoke test, turn the vent valve on, shuts the system off, smoke it, and we could hear, you could actually physically hear, can't really see the smoke, it was in a bad spot because it's up here, but you can hear it. So we soaped it and we found out this seal's a little bit of damage here on this seal, but it looked like the housing had a little crack where this was. So here's actually the parts for it now, showing up. So, and if you do a job, guys, it's factory parts or nothing, boys, I'm telling you. And this is a sending unit for it. Factory or nothing. If you're gonna do something right, you do it right. Unless you have no other option, you gotta go with something, I get it, but if it's available and the OE part's available, we're getting it. That's our 99% of shops that fail, they'll go with a cheap, sorry, bleep that out, cheap aftermarket pump, and then it's gonna come back. I promise you it'll come back. It may not come back tomorrow, 3 months, could be 6 months, but that's your reputation. So what you're doing is you say, hey, I'm taking margin over my reputation, my name. Margin means more than my name. It shouldn't be that way. It should be your name and then the margin, what you make off parts. Because you make a lot less on this, yes, you do, but getting it done right is the most important fact if you care about your customers and what you do. If you're doing good work, you're gonna have work, people are gonna come back to you. It's when this car, the thing about margin is, they put an aftermarket pump on it. Say we do that, comes back 6 months. My guy's gotta do it again, I gotta pay him to do it. The vehicle's in the shop again, it's wasting time for him from another vehicle. So that margin you should have gained is now lost, and that's what happens. So actually it's a lose-lose situation. So this is Kevin. He did an evaporator core that was leaking, small leak. And like I said, I get over here. If you're gonna do it, like I keep saying, you do it right. What does that say? Okay, we're not putting some Chinese evaporator core on there that's gonna fail. Yeah, it costs a lot more, but your job is to fix the vehicle. Again, if you use a cheap part and it comes back, are you fixing the car? No. Customer has no idea. You're the professional, right? Customer doesn't know the difference, but you do. When you install a part, you know it's cheap and inferior, and you do it anyways, that's on you. We don't do that. So if you want your car right and fixed right, people come here. That's the reputation you have to build as a shop owner in a shop. If it comes to your facility, it leaves done. You know it's at the right parts, technicians follow the procedures, and it's done right. That's how it's supposed to be. So many people do it wrong, and it's not hard. It's not hard. It's very simple, but it's frustrating because we see it all the time. Ask these guys, cars come in here and we fix it because cheap parts or they didn't follow procedure. But here we have a Honda, and this is actually a prime example of see if I can pull up my phone, of cheap parts, what cheap parts will cost you. So the ball joint pulled out of the knuckle on this. All right, so I'm gonna give you an example why you don't use cheap parts. You're gonna hear a theme from me. This customer, prior to her, someone put ball joints in this car, okay? They were not factory. I don't know, they're probably some cheap aftermarket, real low grade. Here's what happened. See that ball joint protruding out of the knuckle? That ball joint should be seated on the knuckle, which I'll show you, and it damaged, wore out the inside of the knuckle. So what did we do? We didn't buy an aftermarket knuckle, no. I bought a Honda knuckle, new bearing, okay? The hub was good, so we used the hub. The knuckle comes with a new ball joint. And the other side, they had some cheap aftermarket ball joint, which we put in Honda in there. I'll show you this. They were a bit, someone just did it. See the rubbers folded over and all that stuff? I don't know if you can pick that up. So we removed that one, put a Honda joint in there. Yes, they cost a lot more, but that's how it works. You can take a look at this if you want. You can kind of see how it's supposed to be seated. Over here you can see better. So this is a joint it's pressed into this knuckle. It was pushed out of it because of the cheap inferior part, and it damaged this where it presses in. If you would just go back with another ball joint, it'll come right back out. So it's a press fit. So, but prime example of another shop that did this repair did not use a quality part. You don't, I mean, as long as it's the OEM part, that's fine. You know, you just got to find a supplier. But that's just the situation. And over here, Kevin's working on a Town and Country. And it's got the valve on the oil punch, which I'll show you. All right, so this is the oil pump regulator, okay? Regulates the oil pressure. Right here, that's what went bad. Very common issue on these 3.6s. That fails, and Dodge only sells it within the pump. So you gotta put a new oil pump in the vehicle, which comes with that. And that's what Kevin's gonna do. But is there an aftermarket choice? Yeah, there is, but are we gonna use it? No. Because if we're gonna get anything out of this channel is we don't use cheap parts. I'm trying to help educate other companies, other shops, use quality parts. It's number one. Number one. And there's situations where you can't get a defective part. I understand. You do the best OEM supplier you can. I'll show you an example of that. So we're doing a compressor, condenser and stuff. Of course, we got what we could get factory, which was hard to track down, was a condenser. Yeah, if I can stress anything is the biggest mistake you can make when you do AC repairs is use an aftermarket condenser. You won't notice it until you're above probably 85, 90 degrees. That's where you're gonna see the biggest difference between an OE and an aftermarket condenser. It's because the total fins are shrunk down in aftermarket. The cooling section of the condensers, it's shortened. This design's not right. So that we'll talk about that another day. But there's other companies that you can get that are OEM suppliers, are very good quality. So like Akabono, they're an OE supplier. I love their pads. Zimmerman rotors are high quality. They're coated. But you want to see something interesting though, I'm going to show you something. So on the 4.6 intake manifolds that always crack and leak coolant, so they've been on back order for, man, over a year. And I finally got one in. They redesigned it. Come check this out. They redesigned the intake a little bit. Really interesting that looking at it's like they kind of, there's another company that out there that redid this intake. It almost looked like that they are using them or they copied it, because I'm not gonna name that company, but everybody knows it starts with a D. It looks a lot like it, but it says USA, but the biggest difference is the gaskets look a lot better than that other company, and the ports are the same. But I just found that interesting. They kind of redesigned that intake on that 4.6. Parts are huge. So I think about to be lunchtime actually. Food here, Micah? Pizza's a little more important, boys. Sorry. See ya.